B-1B Corsair and the Ferry Swordfish II. Our air show today will feature the Corsair, an aircraft loved for its unique features, distinctive look, and incredible real-time dates back to 1938, when the United States Bureau of Aeronautics chose the aircraft as a new single-engine fighter. The engine to be used was the powerful Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp radial engine, which eventually produced over 2,000 horsepower. The Corsair is widely considered the most capable of all carrier-based fighter aircraft of World War II. Its distinctive inverted gull wings were designed to keep the landing gear short and robust for carrier landings, and give clearance for the enormous 13.5-foot diameter propeller required to pull her over 400 miles per hour, the first American fighter designed to do so. Although most commonly associated with the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps, of the roughly 12,000 Corsairs manufactured over its history, only 2,000 were purchased and flown with the British Royal Navy. With the longest production run of any piston-engine fighter aircraft in American history, the Corsair saw service through Korea near Ottawa. Paul has flown over 2,300 hours in the CF-18 Hornet and has over 4,000 hours on more than 100 different types of aircraft. He completed his 24 years of military service as the commanding officer of 433 Fighter Squadron in Bagotville, Quebec, then as the Canadian Forces senior test pilot in Cold Lake, Alberta. Last year as deputy team lead of Top 1, Paul was extensively involved in the restoration, testing, and demonstration flying of the 100th anniversary Discovery Air FC-6 Air Arm. In the United States, Air Arm pilots, including Canadian airmen, were deployed on carriers such as HMS Formidable and Victorious, and carried out daring fighter escort and attack operations in the North Atlantic and the Pacific. This Grey Ghost Corsair is painted in the colors of the aircraft flown by Canadian Navy pilot Lieutenant Robert Hampton Grey from Trail, British Columbia, and commemorates the hundreds of brave Canadian naval aviators who flew with the British Royal Navy. The story of Hammy Grey begins in 1940 when he enlisted with the Royal Canadian Navy Voluntary Reserve. On loan to the Royal Navy, he soon set sail for England, where he joined the Navy's Fleet Air Arm. After completing service flying training in June of 1941, his first postings were to Africa to help protect the expected Japanese attacks in the South Pacific. By the spring of 1945, the HMS Formidable was redeployed to the Pacific. By this time, Lieutenant Grey's squadron was outfitted with the new F-4U Corsair, just like the one we're watching here today. By the summer of 1945, the Formidable was sailing from Sydney, Australia, to join the United States Navy 3rd Fleet at Abbotsford. In July, nearing the end of the northbound cruise, Hammy was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross for aiding in the destruction of a destroyer near Tokyo. Warships in the bay. Lieutenant Grey selected for his target an enemy destroyer. He swept in, oblivious of the concentrated fire, and made straight for his target. His aircraft was hit and hit again, but he kept on. As he came close to the destroyer, his plane caught fire, but he pressed within 50 feet of the Japanese ship and let go his bombs. He scored at least one direct hit, possibly more. The destroyer sank almost immediately. Lieutenant Grey did not return. He had given his life at the very end of his bombing run. As a salute to the final landing Lieutenant Grey never got the chance to make,